Alright, so this is our K-Speed trumpet, which basically it bypasses hot air going back into the airbox, and rather than it recirculate, you vent it to atmosphere. So what the trumpet does, obviously it amplifies that sound, so you get nice little recesses in there, which gives it that whoosh noise which you'd find on most turbo cars. So these Kawasaki jet skis have a bypass valve, and that bypass valve is always open when the ski is at idle. What the bypass does is, as the speed increases on the ski, the bypass valve closes, and then all the boost then goes into the engine. As you release the throttle, that air has nowhere to go, so the bypass valve opens up and it vents it to atmosphere. That's what gives you the blow-off noise. So the trumpet, these are made with ABS plastic. They're quite strong. We do say in the instruction manual though, when you are installing them, it has a hose clamp, which then the hose from the ski goes over these recesses here in the grooves. And what the hose clamp supplied in the kit does, it's quite a small one, obviously goes around there and secures the hose onto the trumpet itself. However, it is quite thin, as you can see. It's strong, but if you over tighten that hose clamp, you will snap this off. So we say to customers, be very careful how much tension you put. You want to tighten up the hose clamp enough so the hose doesn't rotate, but you haven't got to crank the hose clamp up to the point where this breaks. So just take care when you put them on. So you got your trumpet kit there, and then inside your bag you have your hose clamp, a zip tie to hold this little block-off cap on, and that cap goes over the airbox. And I'm going to show you what to remove inside the jet ski to be able to install this kit onto your new 310 22 models. This is obviously a K-Speed version, so it's going to have all the trick bits on it. We've blacked this one out, and so going for the stealth look here. But what we're going to do, we have two vents here. Now, as you look underneath the ski here, these vents go different directions. We're aiming for the right-hand side one, and that vent's going to go down here, and it appears above the exhaust below there. And we're going to be using, move this tripod, this hose. We're going to disconnect it from here. We're then going to push it down this vent, have it come back out through here, loop back around the intercooler and go back into it. And we're going to disconnect it from the bottom one on the airbox. And how we tell which hose is which is we grab it back here and we simply wiggle it, and that will tell you which one's moving. Now, pretty much they're all going to be the bottom one, but we just ask customers to check first in case someone's worked on the ski and put the hoses in the wrong spot. So this one is your bypass valve, this one is your blow-off valve, which is on the back of the intercooler. Eventually, if you buy our bypass block-off kit, you will have a cap for both of these ones anyway. So let's start it. Alright, so we're going to undo the hose clamp on the bypass valve, put your screwdriver in there and loosen it off. Then we simply pull that hose off and keep this hose clamp for later. Alright, so then we undo the hose clamp on the bottom hose, which I've already checked to make sure it's the correct hose. Try and avoid dropping the hose clamp in the hole. It's normally a lot easier without the camera in the way. And pull the hose off and pull the hose out. And now we're going to grab our block off cap, which is this one here from the bag, and we're going to slide that over the bottom vent. You just got to wheel it on, it will go. Alright, cap's on, and then with the supplied zip tie, we're going to secure that in place. The zip ties on, and then grab your side cutters and cut off the tail. Alright, so now we go to the back of the ski and install the trumpet. Alright, so we grab our hose. We then put the end down the tube. And you have to try and jiggle it to get it in there. We're looking for it to come out in the back of the ski. So you can see it coming out there. So what we have to do now is reach in and actually pull that back through here. This will be a bit of a challenge to record this, but I'll get it done for you. We then grab our hose clamp we took off, make sure you put it the right way, slide it back over the bypass valve, and then we do that hose clamp back up. This one has to be tight. Alright, that's on. Now with this top piece, this is where we slip the trumpet onto. So in your bag, you're grabbing this smaller hose clamp. Don't use the big hose clamp. You can see this one here is the factory hose clamp. This one is the one that we supply, which is a lot smaller. Okay, so what we do, you just want to get this one started. As you can see right now, it's quite big. So grab your screwdriver, get the hose clamp started so it's easier to secure once you put the trumpet in place. Okay, slide it over the hose. I'm going to grab our trumpet. And we then slide the trumpet over, so we have two recesses here. We go to the first one, and we make sure the vents are still visible. And then we grab our hose clamp, slide it up, and then we secure the trumpet in place. Now this one is the one that we do just gently, where all we're doing is securing the hose, we're not over tightening the clamp. And I'm just going to make this hose clamp tight enough so that the trumpet doesn't rotate inside the hose. So that's it there. Let's go one more half turn. There we go. So now the trumpet doesn't rotate and it's also not squishing it. From here, we have to push this down while pulling it through from the bottom. And then it slides in and becomes flush. Now what we have to do with the tail, we've got to make sure that doesn't hit the supercharger belt. So we then push it back out of the way. Like so. And that way it's not going to interfere with the belt. And that is the trumpet installed.